was going to walk the beach this morning, but I did. I was going to do it, but now it's too warm already for Bachelor. Good morning, everyone, from the shores of Santa Barbara, California. I'm Steve Janicek, and I'm the general manager of the Ritz-Carlton here in Santa Barbara. This week, we were looking forward to your arrival. And while you were missed, I can't tell you how happy we are to be part of this conference and part of the ongoing programs that you do. It is difficult for you not to be here. My hotel is not the same without you, but you're home with your friends and family, and we hope safe during these certainly challenging times. But again, I just want to welcome you to Santa Barbara virtually. And next, I want to introduce to you our wellness partner, Nora Tobin. Thank you very much, and be safe and be well. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nora, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to the beautiful Ritz-Carlton Bacara Santa Barbara for our digital luxury wellness retreat. Welcome, American Bar Association. It is such an honor to have you. I am really looking forward to our day. It's going to be a combination of strategies for stress, sleep, energy, and overall productivity and performance. My Fulfillment in 3 program is designed to enhance your overall well-being and your professional output in a busy work week without sacrificing time or enjoyment. Our digital programs, both in-person luxury retreats our programs both in digital luxury retreats and in-person, monthly content and executive one-on-one coaching will be provided in this time of working from home. So we all are working from home, and it's quite a challenging time. So I'm hoping that these tools will help enhance your overall output without, again, having to sacrifice that time or enjoyment. So I'll be looking forward to sharing those programs with you and your teams after the retreat concludes. But for today, this is all about your personal well-being. So I applaud you for taking the time to do this. I know you had a very busy week. You were in the midst of your conference, and today is just all about improving that well-being in a very enjoyable way. So if it's not enjoyable, whether it's fitness, nutrition, stress management, we have a tendency not to stick with it. So for our program, we've always incorporated strategies that are, number 1, enjoyable, and number 2, time efficient, because your time is very valuable and we want to make sure that we honor that. Today we have a couple of different things lined up, so it's a portion of our digital retreat. For the first part, we're going to do the Fulfillment in 3 discussion, covering fit, fueled, and focused. And these strategies are meant to enhance what you're already doing so well. So you're all leaders, all working really hard to have gotten here. So know that you've already put in the work, you've already done a lot well. These are just supposed to support what you're already doing so right. We will also be incorporating a nice yoga flow to enhance your energy and shift stress. So sometimes we can get into a day where we're just back to back and we don't necessarily have the luxury of time like we have today for an hour of yoga or 45 minutes of yoga. But I'm hoping to give you some tools that will be able to, you can utilize for just 5 minutes in your work day that will actually shift your physiology to adapt to stress. And then we'll finish today with our lightning round of Q&A. You've already sent in great questions. We'll also be taking questions live. So know that you can write in at any time, and we're going to be answering questions covering sleep, stress, energy, and overall productivity. So without further ado, let's get into our Fulfillment in 3 program. Fulfillment in 3 is broken up into fit, fueled, and focused, fitness, nutrition, and overall lifestyle techniques. So starting with fit, we have 3 top strategies that will burn fat, increase your metabolic rate, shift your energy so you have sustained energy throughout the day, and also calm the nervous system and lower stress. So starting with high intensity interval training. HIIT training is been around for a long time, so you may have done it, you may have heard of it, But just as a quick recap, if you've never experienced HIIT training, all it is just shifting the amount of output you're doing in a workout. So for example, you would be doing squats, push-ups, a run, a swim. You can apply it to any exercise, and your output would be 100% as fast as you can for a short period of time. For example, 30 seconds. So for a run, if you're going jogging lightly and then you go 30 seconds as fast as you can, rest and repeat, typically about 8 to 10 rounds. So it's a very short workout. It can be about 10, 15 minutes, and you'll get these great benefits of HIIT training. You can apply it to any workout you do. You can apply that speed. We'll definitely be giving you resources after the retreat that deliver workouts and HIIT tips that will help you, will support you in your week. But just know that HIIT training, you can apply speed to any movement, and there's a couple big benefits that come from that. Number one, you're gonna raise your metabolic rate for 24 hours after the workout. That's raising our excess post-oxygen consumption. So within that 24 hours after you've completed your HIIT workout, your metabolism is gonna be burning higher, your fat burning is gonna be much more efficient, and you're gonna be able to be burning more calories while at rest. So for me, HIIT training is a great tool in a busy work week because I don't necessarily always have time to go and work out for an hour on end or do, a full digital class like we're gonna get to do today. So I find that just by incorporating 10 to 20 minutes of HIIT training, I typically do it first thing in the morning just because then you get it in, you feel great the rest of the day. But you can do it whenever feels comfortable for you. So know that it's effective at any point during the day. But what it's gonna do is gonna help elevate that fat burning power quickly. It's gonna burn fat efficiently. So you're burning your fat stores as you incorporate HIIT training. And you're going to be able to retain lean muscle. So as opposed to steady state jogging or steady state cardio, which is so great for the heart, there's a number of benefits in that alone. But that type of workout versus a HIIT workout is gonna be different benefits. With a HIIT workout, you're gonna actually see tone in your muscles much quicker because it's challenging the muscles. Our muscles need to be under a certain amount of stress in order to adapt and grow and be stronger. So HIIT training is a great way to get that tone that I know I look for quickly, burn those fat stores, especially in that abdominal region, and give you a really quick boost of energy. So within your day, if you're starting to feel lethargic, if you just incorporate a simple 10-minute HIIT workout, your energy is just gonna pick right back up, improving circulation to the brain and giving you essentially the best bang for your buck in a very short period of time. Our second strategy under FIT is, I guess I would explain this in two. It's walking and yoga, so the second and third strategy. We have probably heard many benefits of yoga and why it is so important for stress management, lowering inflammation, and improving your overall state, your overall well-being. But today I want to focus on what it does for our hormone balance and how it's going to support our overall goals, especially our physical goals, our physique. So yoga and walking actually can target cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. So cortisol is essentially supposed to rise and fall throughout the day. So we all make a certain amount of cortisol just to do daily activities, whether it's taking the kids out to school or making breakfast or anything just simple. We need a certain amount of cortisol to get going for our day. What happens in these very somewhat stressful times is our cortisol rises in the morning, then it might fall a little bit, and then it'll rise, and then it'll keep rising if we're stressed, and it'll stay lifted. The reason why this can be detrimental to have long-term high cortisol or chronic cortisol levels is because it's going to affect two other main hormones in our body that regulate quite a bit. So think about it as a triangle. So our cortisol is at the top. When cortisol is high, our body's efficient. So it knows that it needs to keep going about our daily tasks. So it's going to pull from other areas in the body in order to just retain that same amount of energy. So cortisol is going to pull from either the thyroid, which governs metabolism and weight management, overall energy production, or it's going to pull from testosterone and estrogen, which is going to govern a number of things in the body, including sex drive. So this shows up in different ways depending on the person, but when cortisol is high, it can either pull from the thyroid, which is going to show up in an increased amount of fat in the abdominal region. That's actually been proven, which is quite astonishing. Your body actually starts to store fat specifically in the stomach when our cortisol is high. Or it's going to show up in your estrogen and testosterone levels, which is going to be either low sex drive, low energy, or just lower immune system, or all of the above. So it can pull from both areas depending on how high your cortisol is. So without having to go get a test on cortisol or do anything like that, although if you want to, I encourage it, but if you don't do that, which you again don't need to, just knowing that we're in these stressful states, we can assume that cortisol is high. When cortisol is high, it's pulling from those two areas, leading to essentially a depletion in our overall energy, weight management, and really doesn't help us reach our physical goals. So where walking and yoga comes in, those two other pillars of our Fulfillment in 3 Fit program, is because walking and yoga specifically targets cortisol. So yoga being anything you do syncing breath to movement in any kind of yoga practice. So it doesn't have to be a crazy vinyasa flow for an hour on end, and it doesn't necessarily have to be every single day. All you want to do is start incorporating, again, these are short, efficient strategies. So 10, 20 minutes a day of yoga is going to really help target that cortisol. So we'll provide resources for that. There's also a number of amazing digital yoga classes out there now that you can access at any time from the comfort of your own home. Another quite simple strategy in this Fulfillment in 3 Fit is the walking, because wherever we are, we can walk. So getting out for that short period of time, preferably without your phone, will help greatly manage your cortisol levels. So oftentimes, and I do this, I will be totally guilty of this, where I'll walk with my phone, and I will get the physical benefit of walking, but it's not going to lower cortisol, because as we know, our phone can increase stress. So try to incorporate one or both of those strategies within your day, whether it's a 20-minute walk or a 10 to 20 minute yoga session, just syncing breath to movement, stretching it out with some breathing. Yoga is quite simple. We don't have to make it overly complicated. But if you can incorporate one or both of those strategies, you're going to actually notice a big difference, not only in your stress management, but also in your physical goals. So walking and yoga paired with high intensity interval training is going to be a great balance between the two. So oftentimes we are either all in on the high intensity intervals or high intensity workouts maybe every day, and that can lead to a disruption in our hormone balance. Or maybe we just do really, really low level type of exercise, which is beneficial, but maybe not getting us to reach the goals that we're really looking for, or the results that we're looking for. So my recommendation, and I've done this for a long time, it's really helped me, is alternate between high intensity intervals or any kind of high intensity workout on one day with a low intensity workout the next day, whether that's walking, yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi. Alternating between the two will give you that ability to recover faster, repair those muscles from your HIIT workouts, and then bring that cortisol level down, which, as we know now, is so important to our physique. So just as a recap for our FIT program, we have high intensity workouts, yoga and walking, tapping into both or just starting with one. But please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We'll also, again, follow up with those resources and a deeper explanation and some studies to show how much that the combination of these three can make a profound difference for our overall fitness. moving on to our nutrition section, our fueled section, where we're going to dive into some nutritional strategies that are really not only effective, but designed for those in a busy work week. So I don't know about you, but I've definitely tried all different types of diets and eating plans, and I have to say that the ones where I failed at were the ones that took too much time, or I wasn't eating enough, or I wasn't enjoying what I was doing, or I was missing out on maybe getting cocktails or making dessert or whatever it might be. So I've, through a lot of trial and error and then a lot of research into what is actually going to repair our body on the deepest, most cellular level while experiencing these physical gains, I am excited to share 3 strategies that will help you do that. So number 1 is intermittent fasting. So I wish we were all together right now so I could see a show of hands of who's tried this, who's heard of it. It's definitely more common now, but fasting, really the word fasting used to be had a negative connotation. Intermittent fasting is, simply put, just shifting the time in which you eat to a shortened period. So you, instead of waking up first thing, eating that breakfast, and then eating smaller, large amounts throughout the day, and then finishing late at night, you just shift the time in which you eat to a shorter window. I personally find that 8-hour window is really the sweet spot, eating within an 8-hour period, and then fasting for 16. So when we do that, so for example, that would be starting, let's say, at 11 a.m. and ending at 7 p.m., 12 to 8, 9 to 5, whatever works for your schedule. It's meant to be flexible. You don't have to do it every day, which is really nice. You can alternate days, or what I like to do is do it during the week and then just enjoy the weekends. The reason why this type of eating is so beneficial is because when you're fasting for 16 hours, or you're giving your body a break from eating, your body goes into rapid cellular cleanup mode. So 3 main things happen. Number 1, we're going to be clearing out the toxins and the things that get, essentially the trash that gets built up in our body at an efficient pace. So cells have a tendency to start to become sluggish, don't turn over as fast, which is really important for our hair, skin, and nails, but also our overall immunity and overall well-being for those cells to turn over quickly. In order to do that, in order for those cells to turn over quickly, we need to give our body a break. So we need to give it a chance to reboot its own battery. So mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cells, needs that break in order to be the most efficient. So in order to increase the energy levels in the body, ward off chronic inflammation, ward off chronic diseases, and repair the skin, hair, and nails. The second thing that fasting window does for us is it allows our body to utilize irisin. So irisin is the process by which we burn through visceral fat. That's our white fat that's around our stomach, our thighs, backs of the arms, and utilize brown fat, which is that protective fat around our organs and neck. So we want to burn through the white fat, and we want to be able to utilize the brown fat and make more of that. So when we're fasting, we're actually able to target that visceral fat and burn through it at a much more efficient pace. So with those who've tried intermittent fasting, you might notice really quick weight loss, but in a healthy way. Again, this is supporting your whole system rather than just your weight loss goals or weight management goals. And one of the reasons behind that is because we're utilizing irisin. The other wonderful thing about intermittent fasting is it's going to help your body stop burning glucose, which is one of the ways we burn energy, and start burning ketones, which you can think of as the clean energy, the energy that comes in the form of burning our own fat stores and delivering really clean energy to the brain, that sustained energy. So one of the first questions I always get when I talk about fasting is, what about breakfast? I've heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I would say that I would give the examples of the 2 energy tracks our body starts with in a day. So if you think of it like 2 roller coasters at Disneyland, we have our glucose burning roller coaster and our ketone burning roller coaster. So bringing it to breakfast, when we start our day with a common breakfast, and when I ask this question, it's usually oatmeal or bagel and cream cheese or eggs and toast, whatever it may be, it typically contains carbohydrates and protein, which are excellent macronutrients for you. I don't recommend cutting those out. But when we start the day, especially taking in carbohydrates, our body immediately starts burning glucose. So it immediately starts to take in quick energy. And you can almost think of it almost like that cortisol, where it's going up and down in energy throughout the day, because glucose burns really fast. So it's going to give you that energy first thing, which is true. Breakfast is going to fuel you in the short term. And then by 11 a.m., it's typical that you're going to be hungry again. You've burned through that glucose, and now you need that next snack or fuel. You're used to eating carbohydrates first thing. You're going to want more carbohydrates, and then it just builds from there. If we start our day with either fasting or a breakfast that contains healthy fat and a little bit of protein, such as eggs and avocado, that's going to give us that clean energy right away, waiting for later in the day to ingest our carbohydrates. So it supports our hormone balance, it supports those cortisol levels, but it also greatly supports our fat burning power. But know that you don't have to do this every day. You can just try it for a couple times a week and then just build into it, because the Fulfillment in 3 program is not meant to be deprivational, number one. And number two, I want you to feel what it's like to eat first thing in the morning and throughout the day, and then what it's like to fast and how it makes a difference on your performance. Because I know for me, when I fast first thing in the morning and wait until about 11 or 12 to eat my first meal, my morning is productive. I am focused. I have energy to my brain. I'm not taking so much time to digest my food, losing that energy flow and circulation to the brain, and giving myself the best setup for success. So I encourage you to try it. It's really simple, shortening the time in which you eat. Start slow and see how it goes. And just last note on the intermittent fasting, if you enjoy coffee, which I do, or tea, you can absolutely enjoy that during your fasting window. So I typically get up and have 2 cups of coffee, maybe 3, and I'll incorporate either pure organic heavy cream or a little bit of grass-fed butter and coconut oil blended into my coffee. Those 2 options are pure healthy fat. They're not going to break the fast, and they're going to give you a little bit of calories to get you to noon. What's really nice about this is you do feel like you're satisfied in the morning. You're not going to be starving. And for women especially, it's going to support your thyroid and give you a little bit more until you start eating. So I would try it. Just see how it goes, and definitely keep me posted. I'm here for you always, and I'm happy to share all the scientific research on intermittent fasting. It's just quite phenomenal what it has done for so many people on that cellular level. Second strategy I want to share with you from the fueled part of our Fulfillment in 3 is going to be to shift away from processed foods, and specifically processed oil. So I'm sure you've heard for a long time that packaged foods are just not good for us. We know that. What I have found to be the most interesting realization, especially just from this time where we're maybe eating more at home and not eating as much out, is the processed oils are really causing inflammation and really skewing our goals, our physical and mental goals. Processed oils come in the form of canola oil, corn oil, really any kind of low-grade oil that they use to cook with in most restaurants, fry with, or keep on a shelf for a processed or packaged good. So with chips or really anything that's in a package, if you look at the back, there's usually typically a couple oils in there that are not olive or coconut oil that are going to keep that food on that shelf for a long period of time because of that oil. The reason why this is so important for us to know, and the reason why we do want to start rotating out of those processed foods and fried foods, is because the processed oil is going to be greatly inflammatory to our system. So with that type of oil, when it's cooked, whether it's cooked in a packaged food or when we're out to eat, it oxidizes. So when it oxidizes, that means it's going to, or the way it relates to our body is it's going to create inflammation in the body and debilitate our immune system, essentially. Higher inflammation levels equals lower immunity protection. Since immunity is so crucial right now and always, we want to do everything we can to improve our immunity and lower inflammation. So in addition to cutting out those processed oils, let's start incorporating foods that are going to support our healthy inflammation levels, lower inflammation, and giving us the best ability to ward off pathogens and give us the most sustained energy throughout the day. Since you're all high productive leaders, we want the foods that are going to fuel our brain and our body. So one way to do that is incorporating more healthy fats. So healthy fats, our brain is 60% fat. So we want to keep fueling the brain with these clean, healthy fats. What I mean by that is more fats that contain omega-3s. So omega-3s are those protective fats that are going to lower inflammation. This comes in the form of wild-caught fish, avocados, flax and chia seeds, as well as organic eggs and actually grass-fed beef to an extent. So it's always a misconception that we should just eat so much chicken versus healthy, really high-quality beef if we have access to that. Most of the time we think chicken is going to be lean, it's going to give us that ability to look our best and not ingest anything that's going to derail our goals. But what we forget, or what we may not know, is that chicken is typically high in omega-6s. Omega-6s are those inflammatory compounds that are going to raise our inflammation. So with chicken specifically, and most birds, they're going to be fed grains. So grains are actually quite inflammatory versus some of these healthy fats. So when the grains are fed, the chickens are fed the grains, they're going to become more inflammatory to our system. So know that if you just start by shifting out of those processed foods, eating those processed foods, and increasing your healthy fats, as well as clean carbohydrates like resistant starches, and which means like root vegetables, sweet potatoes, white rice, and sweet potatoes, I just blanked out, sweet potatoes, white rice, and then any kind of root vegetable, so squashes, turnips, things like that are going to be really helpful for your system, as opposed to those pure high sugar processed carbohydrates. We can also supplement quinoa. We can use quinoa instead of maybe a pasta. So there's a lot of different ways we can substitute it. I will follow up with almost like an eat this, not that type of list, so I won't have to go through everything with you today. So just know you'll have that resource to see what are really good substitutions. Our final strategy in the fueled section is going to be all about improving our gut flora. So our gut flora is essential to immunity and actually our happiness. So there's about 70 to 80% of our immune system starts in our gut flora, so in our gut lining. So small intestine, large intestine, stomach, spleen, the whole area where we're actually creating our immunity, and then it goes to different signals, it signals to different places in the body. That's number one, that's super important for the gut flora. And number two, or the other reason why it's so important to feed our gut flora with the right fuel, is because we make about 90% of our serotonin in our gut. Serotonin is that feel-good hormone, so it's the ability to transfer up to the brain, giving us that best boost in happiness. And if our gut flora is depleted from sugar, processed foods, and environmental stressors, that's going to deregulate the ability to make serotonin, that feel-good hormone, as well as create the best defense for our overall immunity. So simple ways to heal your gut. So if you've been eating processed foods for a long time, or sugar, or been highly stressed, it may be likely that your gut is slightly inflamed, and that's okay. We're going to just incorporate some things that are going to help lower that inflammation and fuel it to be the most productive it can be for you. Number one would be fermented foods. So fermented foods are in the forms of sauerkraut, kimchi, anything that's fermented typically in like a vinegar. So sauerkraut is just simply cabbage that's fermented in vinegar, but that fermentation process is going to fuel the gut flora and protect that area that is so essential to us. The other wonderful thing to add in is resistant starches. So I touched on it briefly, but resistant starches come in the form of sweet potatoes, root vegetables, white rice. That's going to be the fuel for the fermented foods. So putting those together, you don't have to do them at the same time, but those are going to really help fuel your system. If you're not keen on sauerkraut or kimchi or things like that, I would just recommend even just having 1 scoop a day. So if you don't want to throw it on your food or put it on your food, if you just want to get that benefit without having to incorporate it into each meal, I would just do 1 scoop a day of any one of those, and that's going to greatly help fuel your gut health. So if you think about how many times we've taken a probiotic supplement, those probiotic supplements are great when you're traveling. You might not be having access to sauerkraut and kimchi, but typically a probiotic supplement versus a live food like a sauerkraut is going to deliver, the live food is going to deliver 10 billion more probiotic compounds than the actual probiotic supplement. So it's just really simple to incorporate those live foods. It's so essential for that gut health, and it's going to really make a difference in your overall immunity and happiness. Our final strategy of our fueled that was it. So we have intermittent fasting, lowering processed foods, shifting out of those processed oils consumption, as well as improving your gut flora. So adding in fermented foods and resistant starches. The other huge benefit of adding in those resistant starches and fermented foods is it's going to stimulate the vagus nerve. So last little note on our gut health before we move on, it's going to be able to create this connection between our gut and our brain. So along our spinal axis, along our spine, the vagus nerve accesses the brain and then goes back down into the gut. That vagus nerve is essential to bring that serotonin and the immunity back and forth along the spinal cord. So a lot of times when we're stressed or in an inflammatory state from sugar or processed foods, that vagus nerve becomes sluggish and it will not move efficiently up and down the spinal cord. So just know that when you're fueling your gut, when you're giving yourself that ability to increase your serotonin and your immunity, you're setting yourself up for success in so many additional ways than just having great nutrition. Okay, our final component of the Fulfillment in 3 program, and feel free to write in questions. I'm here to answer your questions specifically and customize this program. So if you have questions, just shoot them over just write them in. So our final component of Fulfillment in 3 is focused. So with our focus component, we're going to go through a couple breath techniques. I'm going to describe why journaling and intention setting is going to help set us up for a really productive day. And we're going to finish with some strategies for sleep. So starting with our breath technique. So if you've been sitting, I invite you to stand up so we can shift our physiology at any point during the day. So our physiology shifting our physiology is going to help lower our stress, improve energy to the brain, and give us the best ability to focus for a longer state. A lot of times, especially when we're sitting at home at our desks, and I do this quite a bit, we're in this position, or when we're on our phones. So men, listen up. When we're in this position, our testosterone drops. So stand up straight, maybe hold your phone up here. But also our cortisol rises when we're actually in this position. So the physical positioning of our body shifts our hormone balance. So I know that when I just get into something at my desk, I do start to hunch over. I'd create that imbalance in my body. And it's just hard to remember all the time to sit up straight. I understand that. So I recommend a couple times in a day, shifting your state by actually standing up. Standing up, number one, is going to help just to get that energy moving. But number 2, incorporate some breathing techniques that will deliver oxygen to the brain, waking that brain up, as well as giving you the shift in your nervous system. So getting out of that fight or flight state, that maybe too stressed of a state, into the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body, focuses the mind, and gives us the longer periods of focus. So all that being said, we're gonna stand up if you haven't stood up already. We're gonna incorporate some Wim Hof techniques. So Wim Hof is rapid breathing. So it gives you the ability to increase energy in a short period of time without having to do a 30-minute meditation. So if you haven't noticed by now, I try to do everything as efficiently as possible, incorporate tools that you're gonna get quickly, that you don't have to take an hour to go do. So first one is really simple. You're just gonna extend your arms out to a T, and then you're gonna exhale strongly through the nose, inhale through the nose, exhale strongly through the nose, and tap your sides. So you're actually actively tapping your side. So we'll inhale, exhale. We're gonna do that 15 times. So the amount of which you do this is important because it's gonna really activate that nervous system. So since we're getting into our day, we're gonna do some energizing Wim Hof techniques, but later in the day, we'll do some calming breath work. Nice, so here we go. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale. It could look funny, but it doesn't matter because you're at home and nobody's watching. 5 more. On the last one, hold your breath out. Slowly inhale. Exhale. Really nice. So if you do that 3 times through, just in the interest of time, we won't do it 3 times through, but if you need that active break and you just start to pull in and start to activate that breath, you will feel that quick energy to the brain. Next one is actually a Qigong method, and it's gonna be cross-patterning your body. A lot of times we wanna connect our analytical and creative thought to have the most successful outcome of our work. So of course we need analytical and creative thinking. So by cross-patterning, crossing the midline of your body, crossing that axis, you're gonna actually start to cross those 2 hemispheres in the brain, the right and left, creating your best ability to think critically and analytically, but also creatively. So inhale, stay standing, both arms up. Take your right hand and place it on your left shoulder. Exhale, take your left hand and place it on your low back. And all we're gonna do is switch. So give yourself a little tap, so you should feel that activation. Almost like you're giving yourself a little pat on the back. You're also tapping that lower liver, or the lower part of your back where your liver is, so that's gonna detoxify your system. And you're crossing the midline of your body at a pretty quick pace, which is gonna help activate those 2 sides of the brain. So close your eyes, start to do this, and start to actively breathe. So inhale strongly, exhale strongly. Few more. Last 2 and 1. Exhale, release. Really nice. Last one, we're gonna inhale for a 3 count, exhale for 5. So that longer exhale is gonna take us out of that fight or flight mode, that sympathetic nervous system, into the parasympathetic nervous system, helping us to get into that focused state. Standing up nice and tall, close your eyes, inhale for 3, 2, 1, exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. So 3 simple strategies, 3 simple breathing techniques that will help improve your overall focus. Our second pillar of the focus program is intention setting, journaling, and writing out your goals and why it's important to meet those goals. So we'll send you prompts for these that you can actually do on your own when we have time to do it. But the reason why this is so beneficial is because when you start your day with either an intention, even one intention, or 3 simple reasons why you're grateful, you're actually boosting different areas in the brain. So it's been shown that writing down top 3 reasons why you're grateful each day, and it could be as simple as I'm really grateful for this cup of coffee, which I was this morning, or I'm incredibly grateful for this time with my family, or whatever it might be. That actually can calm the amygdala. So the amygdala is the space in our brain that senses fear. It's our fear response. Especially recently, that amygdala might be going off a little bit, so we want to calm that area. One way to do that is breathing. Another way is to actually express gratitude, whether it's just writing or actually telling someone why you're grateful for them. We also will give you prompts for those goal settings and leadership techniques, which is a great way to just reinforce what your goals are, but also the reason behind it. Because I'm a firm believer that if you have the reason behind it top of mind, whether it's a professional goal or personal goal, will be so much more likely to meet that goal, reinstating the importance, the bigger picture behind it all. And then finally, our last strategy in focus, and we'll get deeper into this in the Q&A because you guys had some great questions on sleep. Sleep, as we know, is so important. We're going to feel pretty terrible the next day if we don't sleep. But the reason behind it, or just so you know what's happening in your body, and you might already know this, but what's happening in your body when you get into that deeper stage of sleep is your lymphatic system turns on. So lymphatic system is when your brain expands and you're flushing cerebral spinal fluid through the brain, clearing out brain plaque and toxins. Those things, brain plaque and toxins, get built up from environmental, physical, mental stressors. Just like our cells, we start to build up those toxins. We want to clear those out, which is why we intermittent fast. So what happens when that lymphatic system turns on, and it really only turns on at night. It only turns on about 95% when we're sleeping and about 5% when we're just in our day, in our daily activities. So we're actually actively clearing out the brain or clearing out those toxins in the brain and setting in this deep repair process. We're also creating new neural connections, improving neurogenesis when we sleep, and creating the ability to imprint memories and imprint short-term and long-term experiences that we had. So one way to get into a deeper stage of sleep, I always use this tool because it's so easy. It's like you can do this anywhere, is actually lie with your legs up the wall. So just shifting your feet above your hips improves your ability to calm the nervous system and really set into that relaxed state before you sleep. Another really important strategy is to actually cool your core temperature. So our core temperature has to drop by 2 degrees in order for us to get into those deeper stages of sleep where theta brain waves start to activate, giving us the most repair. So a way to do that is just lying with your legs up the wall. That's going to actually help increase that ability to shift into that, as well as cooling your core temperature. It's going to give you the ability to create those theta brain waves. So those are just 2 simple strategies, but we have way more and we can share it later in our Q&A. Just as a recap, because I know it's a lot of information, and I also want you to know that you don't have to take all of this. So if you just take 1 or 2 of these strategies, that would be such a win, because again, you're already doing so much right. You're all leaders and top performers, so know that you've done a ton to get here. These are just helping to support you. So quick recap, under FIT, we have yoga, walking, and high intensity interval training. You can combine all 3 to have the best results physically, as well as calm the cortisol production and calm your stress state. Second element of our program is Fueled. So again, we can dive in deeper into any one of these topics, but for today, we're just giving you the brief overview. Fueled, we have our 8-hour eating window, our lowering of processed foods and oil, as well as improving our gut health with those fermented foods and resistant starches. And then finally, our focus, we did our Wim Hof style breathing, shifting your state at any point in the day. Know you have control over that, as well as the journaling and guided meditation, journaling and intention setting, as well as our sleep strategies, lying with legs up the wall and temperature reduction. So it was a lot, but I'm excited to deliver this information. I've seen it work tremendously with myself, my corporate clients, especially those who are in these busy, really high pressure workspaces where they need to perform optimally. These strategies are just such a great go-to. So thank you for joining me. We are about to move on to our interactive session, which is going to be a great yoga flow, where we'll be incorporating some of these stress relief techniques and breathing strategies, as well as just flowing from one pose to the next. No, it's open to all levels, so it should just be a great way to start your day. I will see you in about 10 minutes. We're going to start at the top of the hour, maybe it's 15, at 9 a.m. So join us back here on both of these platforms or whatever you've chosen, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me, and I'm so appreciative of your time. Retreat here at the gorgeous Ritz-Carlton Bacara, Santa Barbara. So happy the sun is out today for all of us to experience our yoga flow. So this yoga flow is designed to alleviate stress, improve your overall energy, and give you a couple tools to help negate the effects of sitting. So I know for myself, when I'm at my desk for a long period of time, I just feel incredibly sluggish by the end of the day. I'm not doing my best work. And while we do have the luxury of time today, we're going to do our session for 45 minutes. I would recommend incorporating any part of this yoga flow into your day for just 5 to 10 minutes. So all of Fulfillment in 3 delivers tools in a very efficient time. And knowing that you are busy and that one thing after the next happens in a day, I would just recommend doing maybe 10 minutes at the top of the hour, middle of the day, or around 3 p.m. when our circadian rhythm starts to drop. That's when we definitely need to revamp that energy. So without further ado, I encourage all of you to just enjoy this practice. Know that yoga is really meant for everyone. There's no beginner, intermediate, or advanced of yoga. It's really just the way you practice, how you feel in your own body. So don't worry about anything. This is for all levels. I will recommend that if there's any point where you just need to completely chill, I would go into a child's pose. So child's pose is toes together, knees apart, sitting back on your heels. If you stay there throughout the whole practice, that would be a win as a way to calm your nervous system. But if you're following along with me, know you can make any alterations you need, and I'm here to just guide you along. So thank you again for joining. Let's sit up nice and tall. Turn your palms to face up. Close your eyes. Setting an intention for today. Deeply breathe that in and exhale what no longer serves you. Know that we always have control of our own state, of our energy and our attitude. Stressors come and go just like passing clouds. But visualizing that blue sky behind it all, that place of calm, connected awareness, that place of strength that we are coming from, that foundation that leads to an amazing day. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale strongly, elbows bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Few more. Energy breath, getting us moving for the day. On the last one, hold your breath out. Coming onto your hands and knees. Drop your belly, lift your chest, gaze towards the sky. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. day. It's a great time to get some blood flow, circulation moving. Coming back to center, up and back, down dog, hips to the sky. Bend your knees, walk it forward. Flat spine, reach towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Beautiful, arms lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, step your left leg back. Drop your back knee, low lunge. Inhale, reach towards the sky. Exhale, getting into those hips. Carry a lot of stress and tension in our hips. Breathe into that space. Start to let that melt away. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up, big twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, step your right knee to meet your left. Up and back, down dog. Slight bending your knees to start, just warming up those hamstrings. Bend your knees, walk it to the front of your mat. Flat spine, come all the way up to standing, reach towards the sky. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Fall forward. Big step back with your right foot, low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge. And know to get deeper into that hip, you can engage your right glute. Arms up. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up. Lift. Center, step your left knee to meet your right. Coming into a plank position, extend your legs back, hold and breathe. Option to go down onto your knees. So it's an energizing yoga practice. We're going to incorporate some strengthening for the core, the legs and the arms. Have some fun with it. Up and back, down dog. Let it go, let your head go, let your neck go. Start to release that tension from the week. Breathe into your low back. Exhale, walk it forward. Flat back, reach it up. Hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, step it back to plank. Full chaturanga on your knees or on your toes. So you can drop down onto your knees or stay lifted, elbows by your side, lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Exhale, walk it forward. Flat spine, reach towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Big step back with that right foot. Step it back, warrior two. Then into your front knee. Inhale, arms up. Reach through your fingertips, lengthen through your spine. Lift through the crown of your head, stay tall. Exhale, forearm to thigh, reach overhead, lengthen. Full opener of the side body, opening up those energy channels. Great job. Hold and breathe. Feel that opening in the entire hip complex. Anytime we can get this joint open, it's going to help so much to deliver oxygen and energy to the brain. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, up and back, hand above or below your knee. Lengthen, reach towards the sky with intention. Maybe smile, just by simply smiling you can shift your physiology, you can shift your state. Exhale through heart center. Big step to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to plank. Hold and breathe. Draw everything in tight into your center line. Breathe here. Exhale, bend your elbows lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Down dog is such a great foundational pose, alleviating your back pain. Big bend in both knees, walk it forward. Flat back, reach it up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Big step back, left foot back. Inhale, arms reach. Beautiful, coming into warrior two on the other side. Big bend into your knee, arms lengthen. Exhale, gaze over your right fingertip. Nice. Not taking anything too seriously, knowing that this is your day, it's your practice. As long as it feels good for your body, you're in the perfect place. Exhale, hinge forward, forearm to thigh. Reach overhead, hold and breathe. Excellent. Up and back, hand above or below your knee. Reach towards the sky. Lengthen through your waist. Stay strong in those legs. Those are our foundation. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, step it forward. Reach it up. Exhale, fall forward. Step it back to plank. Option to float through your chaturanga or just up and back to down dog. Reach it up. Exhale, down dog. Hips to the sky. Let your head go. Hold and breathe. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring both feet together. You can stay right here. Or for a little bit of more core strength, you're going to lift your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. Option to come onto your knees and reach up and pull in. Wherever you are is perfect. Hold and breathe or move with me. On the last one, step it through or come up to standing and then step your left foot forward. Ooh, we're moving now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Start to lower and lift. You're not gonna have to do any exercise after this class, but we incorporate the breathing techniques and the yoga postures with some strengthening to make that efficient experience. 2 more. Exhale, lower all the way down. Give those legs a break. Hands to your heart center. Big twist towards the left. Hook your elbow on top of your thigh. Woo! Then open. Option to place your right hand down, reach it up. Hold and breathe. Inhale, coming back to center. Arms lift towards the sky. Hello. Exhale, gentle back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step your left knee to meet your right. Curl your toes under, up and back, down dog or child's pose. Breathe here. Slow down your breath. Inhale for a 3 count. Exhale for 3. Bend your knees. Walk to the front of your mat. Flat back all the way up to standing reach. Exhale, hands to your heart center. So strong. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward. Step it back to plank. Bend your elbows lower down. Cobra. Exhale, up and back, down dog, hips to the sky. Let your head go. Option to stay right here or bring both feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee draws in. On your knees or on your toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Few more. Breathe here. So nice. Step it through, drop. Keep your back heel lifted. We're not dropping yet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, start to lower and lift. A lot of strength in that front leg. Most of our weight is on our front leg. This back leg is just for balance. Stay with it. You're doing so well. Lower all the way down. Hands to your heart center. Exhale, gently twist. Hook your elbow on top of your thigh. Option to drop your back hand or left hand down, right arm up. Hold and breathe. Nice. So we alternate between a high energy flow and a couple longer holds, giving you that heart rate variability, giving you the best ability to adapt, improving those results. Dropping into that breath. Great job. Coming all the way out of it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step it back. Right knee meets the left. Up and back. Down dog. Knees can be bent here or straight. Hold and breathe. Bend your knees. Walk it forward. Flat back all the way up. Gentle back bend. Opening up through your heart center. Shining your light. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Getting into a couple balancing sequences. So if you have a chair or a wall or something nearby you want to hold on to, that's perfectly fine. Or coming in and out of that balance without that. Starting with our tree pose, so you can just simply lift and lower, just practicing your balance. Or bring your left foot above or below your knee, press into the floor, lengthen through your spine. Inhale, both arms down, broaden through your shoulder blades. It helps to pick one point in front of you to narrow your gaze. Inhale, arms up. Drop your shoulders down and back, lift up through your chest. Exhale, hands down. Stay with me. Inhale, arms up. You can also just hold on here. Exhale, hands down. Just an option. Both arms up. Exhale, lower. Gently release, switching sides. Place all the way into your left foot. Right foot above or below your knee. Setting up as you did so on the other side. Knowing both sides are different. Every day is different. Having patience with yourself and your body. Every time I step onto the yoga mat, it's a different day, it's a different feeling. It may just be a different approach. But you stepped on the mat, which is all that counts. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Hold. Gently release. So nice. Coming into dancer. Two options here. So you can just hold, quad hold. Just hold and breathe. Or extend those arms long, that right arm long. Kick back into your hand. Lengthen through your waist, wherever you are is perfect. Nice. Hold and breathe. Lengthen through your fingertips. Woo, if you come out of it, it doesn't matter. Exhale. Slowly release. So strong. Switching sides. Place all the weight into your left foot. Right foot up. Staying right here. Getting that nice stretch through your quad. Or extending that arm long. Extend it back. So we practice these balancing postures not only for our physical body, but once we start patterning these balances, we're creating that balance in the brain, those new neural connections that are going to greatly help with our calm balance of the mind. One more deep breath. Exhale, release. Excellent. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let it go. Step it back to plank. Hold and breathe. 3 deep breaths. Pull everything in tight. Bend your elbows lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Hips to the sky. Excellent. Drop down onto your knees. You earned it. Toes together, knees apart. Sit back on your heels, child's pose. Let your head go. Nice. So in this posture, you can just simply rest, or you can rock your forehead from side to side. So that's going to help stimulate that prefrontal cortex. Really helpful for decision making. Moving your head from one side to the other. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. Getting into our cross patterning. So we started this morning. We're going to inhale, left leg up. Exhale, you can stay right here or lift your right arm up. So from here, we're going to cross your left leg towards the right and just alternate opening and closing. So that's going to start to help connect the right and left hemispheres of the brain, connecting analytical with creative thought. It's also a killer ab workout. A few more. Nice. Last 2. And 1. Come back to center. Lift and hold. Hold and breathe. Strengthen through your waist. Exhale. Gently release. Right leg lifts. Inhale. Left arm lifts. Here we go. Cross and open. Cross and open. Abs strong. Nice. So if you only have a few minutes in the middle of your workday, if you can get to the ground, this is a great thing to do for the brain. Perfect. Come back to center. Hold. Kick that out. Hold and breathe. Exhale. Gently release. Spread your fingers wide. Curl your toes under. Knees hover over the floor. Pull everything in tight. So good for the core. Exhale, up and back. Down dog. Bend your knees. Walk it forward. Flat back. Reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Big step back with that right foot. Right knee bends, left knee bends, lower down, toes out. Hands to your heart center. Excellent. You can stay right here or start to pulse with me. Getting into those thighs, opening up our hips. Breathe. Focus on your posture. Exhale, hold hands behind your head. Reach up and over, touch your elbow to your thigh. Back to center, switch sides. Hold and breathe, or lift and lower with me. Using your oblique strength. Great job, team, we're almost there. Then we slow it down. hands to your heart center. One more time, start to pulse. Getting into our adductors, those inner thighs. We really want to work them to help stabilize our hips, which then stabilizes the low back. We need to strengthen those hips and the glutes to take pressure off the low back from sitting. Good, one more time, lift up and over. Nice. One more and we'll give our legs a break. Beautiful, arms lift, toes point straight ahead. Exhale, fall forward. Let your head go. Use this as a resting posture. Bigger, small bend in those knees. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe rock from side to side or just hold static. Breathe. Walk your hands over to the right, let your hips fall to the left. It doesn't matter if you're touching the floor, so you could be right here and that's enough, or you could let your head go. Switch sides, arms over to the left, hips fall to the right. Coming back to center, arms come all the way up, strong legs, reach it up. Gentle back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step it forward. Lengthen through those arms, big bend in your knees, lower down, chair position. Hands to your heart center. We're gonna start to pulse. Pulse it out. Nice, last little push for our legs. Breathe here, breathe into those quads. They're working for you. Exhale, hold. You can do this from this position or standing. We're gonna twist open to the right, opening up our thoracic spine. Top of the back that gets really locked up from sitting. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Center. Switch. Back to that slow breathing. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Step it back to plank. Drop down onto your knees. Shift up and back into child's pose or down dog. Hold and breathe. Okay, one more time with our leg lift. Left leg lift. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, leg lift. Exhale, pull it. 2 more. Excellent. Step it through. Drop your back heel or come up to standing by just stepping your left foot forward. Big bend into your knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hold and breathe. Notice if there's any difference in those hips from when we started this morning. Acknowledging that thoughts come and go. We don't have to shuffle them away, we just acknowledge them and then come back to the focus of our breath. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hinging forward, forearm to thigh. Reach overhead. Keeping the shoulder away from your ear. Avoid that shrug. Lengthen. So nice. And then from here, you can take your top hand and put it on your low back. So you're gonna turn your palm back and just stretch out that shoulder. Drop your chin to your left shoulder, opening up your neck. Option to lift and lower your chin. Make this an active stretch or just hold and breathe. Nice. Excellent. Back to center, reach up and back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Step it back to plank. Up and back, down dog.
Finishing these leg lifts on the right side, right leg lift. Use your core strength, knee to chest. Inhale, leg lift. Exhale, pull in. Press through your palms. 2 more. Excellent. Step it through.
Or come up to standing and then step forward. Warrior two, big bend in that front knee. Stay low in your thighs. Last little bit of work for our legs. Great job today. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Closing your eyes. Hold and breathe. In these times of challenge, whether it's in our physical body or in our environment, we can always come back to our strong foundation, starting with our breath. Exhale, forearm to thigh, reach overhead. Turn up towards the sky. Option to swing this top hand behind your low back. Turn your palm back. Exhale, drop your chin to your right shoulder. Breathe here. Option to lift and lower your chin. Getting that nice stretch in your neck. Nice. Especially from our internal rotations of our shoulders on our phones or on the computer. This is such a great thing that opens up that shoulder complex. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, step it to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, gentle back bend. Nice, getting into our shoulders now a little deeper. Clasp your hands behind your back, lift up through your chest. Drop your chin to your right shoulder. Option to lift and lower that chin. Another place we carry a lot of tension and stress is in our shoulders and our neck. Getting up for just a minute from your desk doing this will really help alleviate that. One more on the left side before we make our way all the way down to our mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward. Option to move through your chaturanga. We're just up and back. We'll all meet in child's pose. Taking your time to get there. Way to work hard today. Igniting that energy for your whole day. Fall forward, child's pose. Make your way onto your hands and knees. We're going to take our left shin and bring it parallel with the front of our mat. If you're facing this way, just parallel with the front of your mat. Inhale, right knee bends. Exhale, gentle side bend. Left hand down, right arm up. You can stay right here or press through your palm, lifting your hips up. Gentle back bend while opening up the whole line of your hips.
Both under influence, we had divine set to know what to say. Mind is a razor blade.
Exhale, lower down, gentle twist towards the left. Sitting up nice and tall.
Wouldn't be good enough for me alone.
So nice, going back to center. Switching sides. Right shin parallel, left knee back. Right hand down, staying right here, or press up. Deep breath.
And then relief. 10 days of perfect tunes. The colors red and blue. We had a promise made. We were in love.
back to center. Exhale, twist open towards the right. Stand nice and tall. Coming back to that notion that we have the tools within us, that foundation to really handle any challenge. Breath techniques just help support that. Inhale back to center. Big bend in both knees. Making our way all the way down onto our back, lowering one vertebrae at a time. Exhale. You can hold behind your thighs or extend your legs to straight. Lift up one vertebrae at a time. Curl your spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, C, curve your spine, lowering down. It's a great Pilates movement for strengthening the back, strengthening the core. Nice and slow. 2 more. Exhale, lift it up. Last one, lower down. Exhale, lift it up. Gently fall forward, let your head move. From here, you can take a big bend in those knees, getting a nice opener for the low back, or straighten your legs to get a bigger stretch to the hamstrings. Hold and breathe. One vertebrae at a time. Bringing both feet together, knees apart, coming into a butterfly position. Option to take your thumbs and just start to press into the bottoms of those feet. So we have many acupressure points in our feet, and we want to stimulate those because those are linked to some energy channels in the body. So we can open up those energy channels just by stimulating the feet. It's an ancient Qigong practice. Fall forward. Flat back ball all the way up to a seated position. Making your way down to the mat, rolling back one vertebrae at a time. Head comes flat. Hands by your side. Coming up to a bridge position, knees bent. Press your hips up. So good to strengthen the glutes. Takes a lot of pressure off of our back, helps tone up those legs. Opens up the hips. Hold and breathe. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Let your spine come back to neutral. We're gonna go back up towards the top. Lift it up. Press through the floor. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Think about pulling your heels towards your glutes. This activates those hamstrings a little deeper. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Excellent. We're going to go up one more time. Lift it up. Couple options here. You can stay right here, clasp your hands underneath you, a little bit deeper for the shoulders. Exhale, release. Nice. Bring both knees in, let your knees fall to the right. Gaze to the left. Open up those arms. posture for those glutes. Cross your left ankle on top of your thigh. You can stay right here or draw your knee in. Flex your foot to protect your knee. Feel that nice opening in those hips. We worked hard today, so we definitely got the strengthening sequence in and the core strengthening and the balance. Just enjoying these few slow resting breaths. Exhale, unwind, switching sides, left ankle on top of your thigh, pull in. Exhale, gently unwind. Two options. I'm going to take you through just a simple guided breath so you can extend your legs long, stay lying down, or taking your time to make your way up to a seated position. Closing your eyes. If you're seated, sit up nice and tall. Turn your palms to face up. Simply inhale for 3 counts. Hold your breath at the top for 3. And exhale slowly for 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Lying down, take your time to make your way up to a seated position. We'll all meet sitting up nice and tall. And I'm just going to take the last minute to guide you through a simple visualization. So we want to activate our alpha brain waves in order to get into that flow state of creativity. One great way to do that, activating the alpha brainwaves and calming those beta brainwaves, those surface level brainwaves, is with a visualization. This visualization is quite simple. You're just going to close your eyes and visualize a rose. It can be a rose of any color. And as I say inhale, you're going to think about that rose opening. You're going to see that rose opening. As I say exhale, that rose is going to close. Just focusing on the inhale and exhale, the opening and closing of your rose. Getting that clarity of the rose, whether there's some raindrops on it or it's in the bright sunshine. Inhale, rose opens. Exhale, rose closes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale.
I've been in search of stones, making up the pavement of less traveled roads.
Bring your hands to your heart center. Coming back to that intention you set for today. Deeply breathe that in and exhale what no longer serves you. Know you can access these tools at any time. Your breath is always available to you. It can shift our whole state. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, let it go. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale. Let it all go. From my heart to yours, I'm Shanti. Thank you for practicing with me. Thank you for your presence and your energy. Namaste. Wonderful job today. This practice is incredibly energizing. There's definitely some challenging postures in here. Well done. And I look forward to our final piece of our digital retreat. We're going to be meeting one another in about 10 minutes at the top of the hour for our lightning round of question and answer. Please feel free to write in if you have any more questions during the session. We're thrilled to answer, covering stress, sleep, energy, nutrition, and fitness. And just thank you again. I know how valuable your time is, and I am so appreciative of it today. Thank you, and I will see you in a few minutes. Mwah!